everyone. So today you are going to have a demo on how to create a contact sheet. So when you create a contact sheet, what you want to do is you want to go to Google Drawings. To find Google Drawings, you can go, just open a new tab, go to Google, type in Google Drawings, and it should be the first thing that pops up. So you can tell that you're in Google Drawings if you see this sort of orangey rectangle in the corner. First thing you want to do is title what you're working on. So in this case, it's a contact sheet. Moment Reassembled is our current project. So the next thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to change the proportions of your screen. In order to do that, what you want to do is go to File, Page Setup, and we want to make this a really wide screen. By making this a much wider screen, you will be able to fit more of your images on this particular slide. So in order to insert your images, you can go to Insert at the top, Image, Upload from Computer, and mine's set up so these are the pictures that I already have in a folder that I took for this project. So I'm going to go ahead and click on the first one. I'm going to hold down my Shift key. That way I can select all of them at the same time. And now you'll notice all of them are selected. Now I do notice that I have my two example photos here, so I'm going to unselect those by holding down the Control key and clicking on both of those images. You'll see that both of these were deselected, and that way only my pictures that I took will be added. Alright, so all of my pictures have been added. If I scroll over and select all of them, I can move them off to the side. I'm also going to shrink them. So when you shrink something, you'll notice, so if I just pull from the corner, you can see that I can really distort my images, and I don't want to do that. So I'm going to go back, and if I hold down that Shift key, it'll keep everything in proportion and just make it much smaller. Hold it down. So your images should be about a thumbnail size. And I'm just going to place them. So one of the really nice things about working with any of these programs is that as you place them, you'll see these little red guidelines that will pop up. This will help align your work. You'll also notice that it is also trying to help me space my images evenly. So I now have about 4 across. I want to be able to fit hopefully another 5th one. I'm going to select all of them. I'm going to make them a little smaller, holding down that Shift key again. And that way I should be able to fit a 5th one in here, no problem. I'm going to reduce that size so it's the same size as these ones. Now I want to center them, so I'm going to select all of them by dragging my left click button. Select all of them and center it. So there is one row done and ready to go. I'm going to follow the same process to make a second row. Now this is super easy when all of my images are the same direction or format. So let's say I'm going to take a couple of these out, and And let's say I'm working with maybe some more horizontal images, and they're kind of a mixture. So you can do the same sort of thing, set them all up so they're all pretty much evenly spaced. Move these out of the way. Hold down that shift key. And I want it to be about the same ratio as the one up top. So there I've got my two sets. The next thing I want to do is I want to insert a text box because I want to put my name and part, contact sheet, Alright, so that is how you create a contact sheet in a nutshell. So what we want to do is we want to add a background. So in order to add a background, you can right click and you'll see background. I want to just leave my background plain, nice and white, so it looks nice and crisp and clean. Then the next thing, I can insert a text box. So I went up to the top, insert text box, and this is where I can add my name real quick and say contact sheet. And if I want to, I can even add, I can put it up here. So you want to put it in a spot that, you have plenty of space. So since I have lots of space at the bottom, I'm going to line it up with the edge and just stick it down here. And there is one sheet ready to go. Now, when I want to make a second sheet, what I can do is I can Alright, so now I have one sheet, but I'm required to turn in at least 20 photos. So because of that, I only have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I have 9 on this particular contact sheet. So what I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to make a copy. So contact sheet moment reassembled 2. Okay. So by making a copy, it literally copies the entire thing, and all of those images that you still had on the side are there. So what I'm going to do is just select all the images on the Google Drawing, and I'm going to hit delete. So those ones have already been used and they're done. So now I'm going to do the same process real quick and line up my pictures. So this time I really need to try to squeeze in 12 images in order to make sure that I have 20, since I only had 9 on my previous slide, or 11. I need to fit in 11 somehow. Alright, let's see here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then one more. Okay, so I have them lined up. They're ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and select the top row since it's longer. And if you make an error, a really quick trick, if you don't already know, is just use Control Z. Control Z is basically your fast undo button. So if you make a mistake or if your sizing is a little weird, using that Control Z can be a lifesaver to just quickly go back one step. Alright, so I resized my images again. These ones are technically a little smaller than these ones, and that is okay. But the biggest thing is that you can see them, they're evenly spaced, they look good. My extra images, I can go ahead and delete those. If you want to, you can always include more than 20, but the requirement is to include at least 20. So by setting these up, your two contact sheets contact sheet 1 and 2, you're setting yourself up to be really helpful for the next part of the process, because we can open these back up, copy the images directly into your project, and I will show you how to do that as part of step 2. Alright guys, to wrap things up, all you have to do is delete all the extras out of here. Go to File, Download. You can either make a JPEG or a PNG file, PNG. That's all you have to turn in, is your JPEG or PNG file. So this concludes this tutorial on how to create a contact sheet using Google Drawings. Thanks so much for watching. Until next time.